Hey everyone, it's Jeff. I'm the product manager here at Adventure Wagon, and I'm here to introduce our new Soogan Bunk. We're calling this the Soogan because Soogan is actually an old cowboy slang term for like a bedroll or a quilt. And you know, one of the features of this product is that you can actually deflate it and roll it up and stow it away. So it's kind of like a bedroll, and we thought the name fit pretty well. So you can get this in two sizes. One is 25 inches wide by 78 inches long, and that's about 27 pounds. And then the bigger size is 30 inches wide by about 78 inches long, and that comes in at about 31 pounds. So this is a great single bunk option. It's going to replace our Monk Bunk, which we've had for a while. The Monk Bunk was a more traditional aluminum frame rigid bunk system, kind of like a Murphy bed. This gives you the same functionality with that, plus a lot more. This is a great solution for a single bunk sleeping solution for, let's say you're going out with a dirt bike or a mountain bike or some big equipment that you need to stow inside the van and have a sleeping option. It's also a great option if you need a third sleeping option. So, you know, families with one or two kids and need some extra sleeping spaces on top of, you know, a queen size like a Moab bed or something like that. So it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. The Soogan utilizes the Hess Sleep system. So the Hess Sleep system has a drop stitch inflatable base, and then one of their foamy mattresses on top of that, very comfortable. And we brought in a Cordura fabric sling that encapsulates the sleep system and allows you to hang it in the van like a hammock. One of the key features to this bunk system is the drop stitch inflatable base that Hess uses for their sleep system. So this is the same technology that's used in stand-up paddle boards. When you inflate it to about 10 PSI, it actually becomes very, very rigid. Once you add the sling to it, it just gives it that little bit of extra support to make sure that when you hang it inside the van, it stays almost perfectly straight and can support a weight of up to 300 pounds. We went with the continuation of our normal soft goods styling, like with the mule bags. So you'll see on the base, we use the same Cordura Recore fabric and the same mesh and elastic for the pockets. And then you can see we also went with the same type of ladder loop webbing with orange bar tack stitching. So it's gonna look great alongside your mule bags. Your Soogan Bunk is gonna come with everything you need to get started. So in the box, you're gonna get your Cordura sling, 4 daisy chains, 6 soft shackles, 6 D-rings to hang it from the L-track. You're gonna get your cam strap kit and a couple of carabiners. It's also gonna come with your fabric carrying case, as well as your pump to inflate the system. Now that we have everything unboxed, let's take it inside the van and we'll show you how to set it up. All right, now that we have everything unboxed, we're gonna put this thing together. So the first thing you're gonna do is attach the inflatable base to the sling. And it's real simple, you just roll it out and you tuck the base into the sling by tucking the 4 corners into the corner pockets while it's still deflated. And then, while we still have it deflated, it's a lot easier to zip the mattress onto the inflatable base. So just put it on top. Underneath this gusset, there's the zipper on the base of the mattress, and then the other side is on the drop stitch base. And you have 2 of them.
Where?
The second one is always a little bit harder to line up. Okay, and then you're going to inflate the base. There's a valve here on the drop stitch base. You want to make sure that the little yellow knob is turned. You kind of push it down and turn it counterclockwise, and so that the yellow button is pushed outward before you insert the pump. And this makes sure that when you pump it up and then you release the air hose, it doesn't let all the air right back out. So once it's attached, you just start pumping. There's a little dial on top of the pump here with a yellow, green, and red zone. And basically we're just trying to inflate it to the max PSI in the green zone, which is about 10 PSI. And then release the hose just by twisting it counterclockwise. And the next step is to install the daisy chains. So you got your 4 daisy chains. You can see they've got this ladder loop construction. We'll get into that later. It lets you kind of adjust tension along each daisy chain. The other thing you're going to need to do this are 4 of your soft shackles. So you start by taking a daisy chain. You've got loops on either end, and you're going to use the loops on the side of the sling here. You're just sending the daisy chain through the loop on the sling, and then you're sending one end through the other end of the daisy chain. And then you're taking one of your soft shackles, sending the soft shackle through the loop on the daisy chain, through the other loop towards the middle of the sling. And then you got to loosen up the loop on the end of your soft shackle. You put it over the big knot on the other side of the soft shackle, and then you kind of tighten it back up so that the loop is tight around the knot, and then your daisy chain is attached. So repeat that for all 4 sides. Now that we have the base set up inside the sling, it's time to get your strap kit set up to hang the whole system up on the wall. So the first thing that we're going to do is attach some D-rings to your cam straps. So you want to take your small, short cam straps. So they look like this. They've got a loop on one end, cam buckle on the other. And we're going to take 4 of our D-rings and attach them to those cam straps. So you just send the whole strap loop end through the D-ring, so it looks like that, and then send the cam buckle through the loop on the strap itself, and then kind of pull it through and dress it so it's relatively tight around the D-ring like that. And repeat that with all 4 of the cam straps and 4 of the D-rings. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is set up the straps onto the daisy chains of the sling. So we'll start with the long straps. These are the 6-footers. All right, these ones, you have 2 of these. They have the loop on one end. They're open on the other end. They're about 6 feet long. These are the ones that are going to go on, the inside edge, the non-wall facing edge of the sling, and they go up to the ceiling L track. So these are going to be where we use our carabiners. So you're going to take the loop end, take the other one, the other carabiner. These are the ones that will end up being attached to the daisy chain on, again, the inside edge of your sling. So for now, just hook it around the whole daisy chain. You don't need to worry about hooking it into an individual loop yet. Same thing on this one. Now take 2 of your short cam straps. Take the long end of your strap and run it through the cam buckle. And repeat that with the other one. Now, your remaining 2 soft shackles and D-rings are going to be attached to the daisy chain on the wall side of the sling. So kind of the same thing that you did on the other side. You're sending the soft shackle around the daisy chain and through your D-ring, and then you're kind of pulling the ring tight so it looks something like this. All right, so now I'm going to flip the whole system up on its edge because we're going to attach this, the last 2 straps, the 2.5 footers, to the underside of the Soogan Bunk. And those are the straps that are gonna allow you to kind of draw the bunk into the wall to keep it from swinging back and forth after you've gotten it set up. Your last 2 straps, they are the 2.5 footers, and then you've got the remaining 2 cam buckles, which I'm just going to set aside for the time being. All right, for this step, we're trying to use this middle section of ladder loop here. Now, the intention is that you can use any one of these loops to align with whichever vertical track you're kind of trying to use to draw the bunk into the wall. We're putting this up in a transit. This can work in either a transit or a sprinter, and it can work on either side of the van. So that's what gives you kind of like universal adjustability to where you put this strap. You want to get it close to aligned with the vertical L track, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And then we're taking our remaining 2 cam buckles and we're attaching them to those 2.5 foot straps. So again, you're taking the open end of the strap and feeding it through the cam buckle. All right. Now the bunk system is complete and ready to be hung up on the wall. So we're going to start with the actual the wall side hanging. So you're taking your 2 D-rings and soft shackles and daisy chains. All right, and you're going to kind of lift the sling up. It's going to be a lot of straps kind of hanging down. And depending on the height that you want to hang it at, you just sort of want to sort of start there with, you know, that top edge of your base is going to be about where the level of your bunk system is going to be, and you're just kind of trying to pull the straps and the D-rings until they're relatively tight, and attach the D-ring into your vertical L tracks, and just kind of start there. There's going to be a fair bit of sort of micro adjustments and things that you're going to do between where it goes on the wall and attaches to the L track and how much of your cam strap you're adjusting to get it in the right spot. So we'll just start there, and then we can lift it up in place with your 6 foot straps on the other edge that go to the ceiling. Generally, you want to put the D-ring in your ceiling track so that the strap is going straight up and down, at least to start. All right, and then you can run the strap through the cam and start to put your bunk into place. So from here you can see it's not quite level, so this is where you can start to make a few adjustments before we go to the underside and get it pulled in tight to the wall. So it's tipped down in this direction, so I'm going to try to move this one up a little bit until that wall side looks pretty level. Put some tension on it and then adjust these ones a little bit accordingly. All right, now we're going to move to the underside, and we're going to attach the straps to the wall to kind of draw it in tight to the wall. Now we're going to attach these underside straps to draw the sling in close to the wall. So you're taking the D-ring that's attached to the cam strap. You're going to the vertical L track. You want to try to get it as high on the vertical L track as you can, basically so that it's, you know, the strap runs along the bottom side of the sling, and then you're pulling that strap tight. You don't need to, like, you know, completely reef on it or whatever, but just enough to keep it from wanting to pull away from the wall. And then we're going to do the same thing back here. At this point, your Soogan Bunk is set up and ready to sleep in. The last step is usually to tidy up these straps. You'll get some little Velcro strap organizers in the package, and pull the straps up once or twice and wrap them around. If you leave a little bit of slack in the strap, it allows you to make little micro adjustments on the fly without the strap getting all bunched up, but you can just tidy your straps up here. All right. And the next step is to show you how to put it into storage mode. As we mentioned before, one of the main features of this bunk setup is that it's also good for getting it up and out of the way against the wall if you're bringing in a dirt bike or a mountain bike or kayaks or something like that. So we're going to show you how to do that now. The first place you always want to start when you're loosening things up to fold it up against the wall is on the underside. So we're going to come down here and loosen up our cam straps. You don't need to fully undo them, but just make sure there's a lot of slack in these two straps on the underside, like that. All right. And then you can start to fold the bunk up. All right, the other thing you want to do is move the strap with your D-ring either to the topmost wall L-track, or depending on the height that you have your bunk, your lower wall L-track may be exposed. So for us, we're going to the top one. And this just makes sure that when you pull the strap tight, it's just holding it nice and tight up against the wall. You're moving your carabiner from that strap. Might need to give yourself a little bit of slack. And we're going around this strap here where your underside strap is attached, and you're just pulling it tight up against the wall. All right, now your bunk is against the wall and in storage mode, and you're ready to load whatever gear you have. One last thing we want to talk about is sort of some of the height adjustability of the bed system. So as you start to play with the heights that you're setting your bunk system up, you'll notice that some of the angles of the straps can get pretty extreme, and so you're just going to need to sort of play with how you attach the straps, to your daisy chains, to pull tension in the right spots as you move it up and down in the van. So it's kind of one of those things that you just, you have to play with yourself. But, for instance, as you go up with this one, it starts to pull a little bit tighter here and gives you a little bit of slack here. So what you can do is then be selective about which loop on the daisy chain you're running your soft shackle through. And the same thing goes for this side with the carabiner, to try to equalize the tension on these so that you're getting support on the middle, and then you're getting support on the ends. So that's just something to keep in mind as you're adjusting your Soogan Bunk. So that's all we have for you guys on the Soogan Bunk. We hope it'll be a good solution for you, whether you're the solo weekend warrior or the family of 3 or 4 looking for an extra sleeping solution. It can be ordered through our web store at adventurewagon.com. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out at info@adventurewagon.com or give us a call. Thanks for watching.